Imagine a night so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat. A forest so deep the trees whisper secrets, and two brave kids who promise together forever. This is the tale of Hansel and Gretel, a brother and sister who get lost, find a house made of candy, outsmart a witch, and somehow discover the truest path home. It's a story about hunger and hope, about tiny pebbles that shine like stars, and about how courage grows when you share it. If you've ever felt small in a big, shadowy world, this adventure will remind you that love is the brightest lantern of all. Once upon a time, beside a deep, dark forest, a poor woodcutter lived with his two children, Hansel and Gretel, and their stepmother. Times were hard. Cupboards yawned empty. "Papa looks tired again, and we haven't had bread in 2 days," Gretel whispered. Hansel squeezed her hand. "Don't worry, Gretel. I'll think of something. We always stick together, right?" She smiled. Together forever. That night, when they were supposed to be asleep, they heard hushed voices. "We can't feed them any more," their stepmother whispered, scared and sharp. "Tomorrow we'll take them into the forest and leave them there." Their father's voice trembled. "They're my children. I can't." "Do you want us all to starve?" she pressed. The moon floated like a silver coin in the sky. Hansel leaned close. "Don't cry. I've got a plan." At dawn, he slipped outside and filled his pockets with smooth white pebbles, bright as drops of moon. "Let's go for a walk in the forest," their stepmother sang too brightly. "A nice, long walk." As they went, Hansel let the pebbles fall, one by one, like tiny stars. By evening, they were left beside a fire. "Stay here, children." "We'll come back for you soon," the grown-up said. But the night grew old, and no one returned. Gretel's voice was small. "What if they don't come back?" Hansel tilted his chin toward the sky. "The moonlight will show us the way." And it did. The pebbles glimmered, a dotted path home. Their father hugged them, but their stepmother's face stormed. A few days later, she led them deeper into the trees. This time, Hansel had no time to gather pebbles. He tucked breadcrumbs into his pocket and dropped them as they walked. "Will the crumbs work?" Gretel asked. "They have to," Hansel said, but birds swooped and chirped. "A snack's a snack," and gobbled every last crumb. "They're gone. The trail, it's gone." Gretel swallowed. Hansel took her hand. "We keep walking, together." They wandered for hours, then days. Their feet ached, their bellies echoed. Just when hope felt thin, something sparkled through leaves. A little cottage frosted with sugar, roof tiled with cookies, windows striped with candy canes. "It's real," Gretel gasped. "We found dessert heaven," Hansel laughed. They nibbled a corner, licked sweet icing, and were mid-crunch when the door creaked. "Who's nibbling at my house?" croaked a voice. I'm sorry," Gretel stammered. "We were hungry." The old woman smiled with too many teeth. "Come in, little dears. You must be starving." Inside was warm and bright. A table blushed under pies, roasts, and cakes. But this kind-looking lady was a wicked witch who dreamed of turning children into gingerbread. That night, while Hansel slept, she whisked him into a sugar-spun cage. "You'll plump up nicely," she chuckled. "And as for you, girl, fetch water, chop wood, and cook." Gretel's heart pounded. Hansel pressed his fingers through the bars. "Stay strong, Gretel. You're the brave one now." Each morning, the witch poked Hansel's finger to see if he was fat enough. But Hansel was clever. He held out a tiny bone he'd found. "Still so skinny, bah," she grumbled. At last, impatient, she snapped, "Time to bake him anyway." She fired up her oven until it hummed like a dragon's purr. "Gretel," she ordered, "crawl in and see if it's hot enough." Gretel widened her eyes. "I don't know how. Can you show me?" The witch rolled her eyes. "Foolish girl, like this." She bent, peered in, and quick as a heartbeat, Gretel pushed, slid the latch, and shut the door. The oven coughed a puff of cinnamon smoke, then went oddly quiet. Its heat fizzled to warm cookie air. Behind the door, the witch's magic sputtered like a candle in the wind. "Let me out!" she squeaked, suddenly sounding much smaller. Gretel stood tall. "Promise you'll never hurt another child." There was a long, crumbly pause. "I promise," the witch muttered, magic crackling away like sugar in rain. Gretel lifted the latch. The door swung open, and out waddled a shrunken, grumpy witch, broom drooping like a wilted dandelion. She handed over a jangling key, huffed, and whisked herself into the trees, leaving only a swirl of cinnamon air. "You did it!" Hansel breathed as Gretel freed him. She shook her head, smiling through tears. "We did it together." Inside the witch's house, they found chests of treasure, gems like frozen rainbows, coins bright as sunbeams, and strings of pearls cool as moonlight. "We'll never go hungry again," Hansel said. "Let's go home," Gretel whispered. The forest felt different now, less like a maze and more like a story that knew its ending. Birds fluttered ahead as if showing the way. At last, the cottage by the woods came into view. Their stepmother was gone, like a storm that had blown past, and their father ran to them with tears shining. "I'm so sorry, my children. I was weak, and I missed you every day." "It's okay, Papa," Gretel said, and Hansel nodded. So Hansel and Gretel, wiser, braver, and stronger, lived with their father in peace and warmth, never knowing hunger again. They had faced darkness, tricked evil, forgiven what they could, and found their way home. Because when you stick together, even the deepest woods can't keep you lost. What we learn is simple and shining. Courage grows when it's shared. Clever plans matter, like pebbles that sparkle when you need them, but so do quick minds that adapt when crumbs are gone. Kindness and forgiveness can turn down the heat of anger, the way Gretel cooled a hot oven with a steady heart. Temptations may look sweet, yet true safety hides in wisdom and teamwork. And even when grown-ups make mistakes, love has a way of finding the door back home. For you listening now, keep a little pebble of hope in your pocket. Be the voice that says, "Together," when the woods feel big. Look for moonlight when steps seem unsure. And remember, your courage is real. Your kindness is powerful, and your love can light the path for someone else. If you found this story meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe so more friends can enjoy new tales each week. This video is for storytelling and educational purposes only, and is not a substitute for professional advice. Parents and caregivers are encouraged to guide young listeners and talk about the themes of bravery, kindness, and forgiveness together.